Hi guys, and welcome to Escape with Watch Reviews. My name is Steve, and today we're going to be reviewing the Addiesdive AD2074. I received this watch for free. I don't have to send the watch back, but no matter how I get a watch in for review on this channel, you're always going to get my honest opinion. This is completely off the cuff, unscripted, just telling you what I feel in the hand. If you are interested in purchasing this watch after the review, as always, there will be a link down in the video description. This is an affiliate link, so if you use that link, it earns me a little bit of commission. It's an easy way for you guys to help support the channel, so I really do appreciate the continued support. At the time of recording, the price I'm seeing for this one is $105 US. That does include the US tariffs, so be sure to check the link out and see what the price is in your country. The watch comes in 4 different colorways, which you can see on screen now. They're all pretty subtle, but I think they look great, honestly. The watch case is made of 316L stainless steel. It has a sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating, screw-down crown, screw-down caseback, 200 meters of claimed water resistance. It does have Swiss BGW9 Lume on the dial and the hands, and the watch is powered by the Seiko NH35 automatic movement. So we kind of all know Addiesdive by now. They offer great bang for your buck, and this is really no different. But at this price tier, corners have to be cut somewhere. So where did they cut the corners? Does it really matter to you? I say we get into it. But before we do a quick wrist check today, wearing the Cadison C8244 review for this one. I should actually be up, so I will link it up here. All right, let's get into dimensions. A case diameter of 39 millimeters. Case thickness of 12 millimeters, at a standard 20 millimeter lug width, at a lug to lug of 49.0 millimeters, and sized up for my 7.5 inch wrist with 2 links removed. It weighs 132 grams. So overall, we've got a pretty nice set of dimensions. A little bit long on the lug to lug. It is something that I noticed. It does say 12 millimeters thick on my calipers, but I felt like it wore a little bit thicker than that, and I'm not sure if that's because of this protruding case back or what, but that 12 millimeters kind of surprised me. It's the first time I've taken that measurement. So yeah, it is 12 millimeters, but it definitely feels a little bit thicker than that. So, but other than that, it wears really good, very comfortable, and I don't really have too much to complain about. So I'm gonna go outside right now and throw it on my wrist for you. So here we are on my 7.5 inch wrist. I think it wears pretty darn good. A little bit long, but not too bad. And you know, the thickness does come into play a little bit, but it's not horrible. It's definitely not horrible. I would prefer, shaving off a millimeter or 2. You can definitely do that with this watch, and yeah, it would have fit a little bit better, but it actually feels very balanced, very comfortable on wrist. So I don't have too much to complain about. Even underneath this oak tree here, it's still very legible. It usually gives watches problems. So air coating is doing a nice job here. So really happy with the way this watch wears, especially for the price. I mean, you can't really complain too much. And first up, here we are on a cut to size FKM. It's in this tan color. It's got some really nice texture to it. I'll leave a link for this down below. The strap is awesome, but I think it just pairs perfectly with this watch. Just kind of matches the the patina indices on this one just perfectly. Next up, we have a dark brown leather strap from Hemsuit. Again, a super nice strap, and I'll leave the link for all these straps down below. But yeah, just kind of a pretty cool field looking leather strap. I like it. Very minimal, very thin, super comfortable. And here we are on a CNS watch bands. This is a single pass nylon strap there, so one layer underneath the watch. It's still sitting nice on the wrist. Kind of this army green or dark green color. I think it looks really good. And last up, we have a traditional 2-pass nylon strap there, so sitting up a little bit and starting to show its thickness a little bit, but still not that bad. This is a Cincy Strapco SF2, so a pretty thin strap, but I just think it looks good. All right, let's go back inside and let's get back to this review. All right, so let's talk about case finishing. So case finishing is very simple. It is fully brushed. You can see the bezel here, circular brushing. Pretty consistent. There's a little bit of overlap here and there, but it's not really something you notice unless you're right up close to it like I am here. We have circular brushing on the tops of the lugs there as well. Again, pretty nicely done, matches nicely with the bezel there. The case sides here are brushed horizontally, and again, very nicely done. I see it's pretty consistent. Sometimes these areas can get a little inconsistent with the brushing, and this really is not the case, so I'm quite happy with that. Flipping it to the crown side, we have a 6.5mm signed screw down crown. You can see the Addiesdive logo there, upside down, completely just perfectly upside down. We have a polished crown, which doesn't really fit in with this design, but I know it's just kind of an off-the-shelf thing that they use for all of their watches. It is a big crown, nice and grippy as well. You can see it doesn't look like it seats fully into the case there, so yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on with that, but other than that, I think it looks pretty darn good. Flipping it to the case back here, we have our standard Addiesdive case back with the Addiesdive logo. A little bit scratchy on that. Simple notches for a tool. It's brushed everywhere else. There's no real sharp edges on it. Like this area right here feels a little bit sharp to my fingers, but it never comes in contact with your wrist, so it's not a big deal. The crown feels nice. That does come in contact with the wrist, so it's nice that it's been smoothed off. The lug tips here, these are a little bit sharp on the inner portions there, but not so much on the outers or on the bottoms. Just that little inner tip right there is a little bit sharp. But again, it doesn't come in contact with your wrist ever, so it's not really anything to worry about. So these are the kind of corners I was talking about. You know, they're not perfectly refined cases, but you can't expect that for $100. So overall, I'm pretty happy with the case finishing on the watch. It's done, I'd say, to a pretty good standard, especially for the price. All right, let's talk about the crystal. We'll test it for sapphire, because you never know with Addiesdive. It is sapphire. So we do have just a plain flat sapphire crystal. There's some anti-reflective coating. It does have a slight blue tint to it. It doesn't, you know, it's not an overbearing blue, so I think it gets a pass on this one. Keeps it out nice and legible in my opinion. The flat crystals, I don't feel like they need air coating, so the fact that they put it on there is just an added bonus. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the crystal on this watch. It doesn't really protrude, I mean, just barely protrudes above that bezel. But there's not really anything interesting going on with it. Not really a big, you know, chamfer on the edge or anything like that. It's just a very simple, flat sapphire crystal. All right, so let's talk about the dial on the watch, and it is a very military-inspired dial. I mean, we've seen this dial on tons of watches, probably most notably like a Hamilton khaki field, but it's just a military standard basically that everyone followed, and this is kind of what it is. You've got a minute track printed around the outside. You've got a minute track printed around the inside as well with a 24-hour time. You've got the large Arabics there for the hours, little tiny Arabics there for the minutes every 10 minutes, or every 5 minutes, sorry. We have a simple date cutout there at the 3 o'clock position. It seems a little bit off center. You can see the date sits a little bit high in there. But I mean, everything is done nicely. We do have a little Addiesdive logo there and then automatic. The printing on the dial, it's very flat. I don't see really any depth to it at all. It is this very, on this model here, it's a very toned down, creamy, like faux patina color. I think it looks great. It almost looks white, but you can definitely tell that it's not white. I mean, it just looks very good. It's not an overbearing tone like I've seen on some watches. So really happy with the Lume tone on this. I think the color match between the dial and the hands, maybe just a little bit off, but really not that bad. Not something I noticed on a day-to-day basis. The handset that they chose on this watch, really nice, super long syringe tip hands there. You know, the hour hand reaches right to the hour track there. Very nice set of hands. I mean, very simple, but very nicely done. You can see the seconds hand here. It does have a loomed arrow tip on the end of it there, sweeping along nicely. And we have this counterbalance here. The counterbalance, when I was just looking at this with my naked eye, I could see that it wasn't perfectly round. So a little bit of refinement issue on that seconds hand, but you know, at wrist distance, you don't really notice it. And the fact that they got it the right length, you know, kind of trumps everything. So I do like the handset on this, very nicely done. I don't see too much wrong with it. The Lume application, I'm going to pop it up here against a couple other watches in the collection, and you can see how it performs. It's okay. It's printed faux patina, so I didn't expect it to be very good. It's not something that I could really easily read in the middle of the night, but yeah, it's not horrible. It's not good. I'd rate it like a solid 5 out of 10. So don't expect too much out of the Lume on this watch. It's not bad, but yeah, it's not great either. All right, so the movement inside is the Seiko NH35 automatic movement. We've seen this 100 times. from Addiesdive. 21,600 beats per hour, so 6 ticks of the second hand every second. It hacks, it hand winds, it has a bidirectional winding rotor, so you don't have the rotor whirl to worry about. They're robust, they're reliable, they're cheap to replace, they're easy to find parts for. They're just great movements in this price segment, so I don't have anything to complain about there. This is how this one has been running, and I cannot again complain at all about how this thing is running. Really impressed with this one. This one has been one of my better Seiko NH35, so really happy with that. The movement is operated by this 3 o'clock screw down crown. Smooth screw in, screw out action, no issues with that. First position is your hand winding. Again, really nice and smooth. It feels like a solid movement. Pull it out to the first position here. This changes your date. You roll it back. Again, it just seems a little bit high in that window. Pull it out to the third position. This hacks the movement. This is where you set your time. Everything functions as it should. The alignment on it, I'd say, is spot on as well. So yeah, not too much to complain about here. Press it in there. The crown feels pretty nice. Screw in action. It's one of those ones where when you're screwing it in, you are winding the movement. Just something to note. But yeah, I've got no complaints with the movement, especially how this one has been running and how reliable and accurate these NH35s can be. All right, so let's get to the bracelet on the watch. So the bracelet is your typical 3-link style bracelet from Addiesdive, 20 millimeters down to 16 millimeters at the clasp. We have push pins for sizing. I removed 2 for my 7.5-inch wrist, and we've got quite a few left. So this should fit down to about a 6-inch wrist, I'd say. We have solid links, solid end links, female pivot end links as well. You can see they stop short of the lug tips there. So yeah, it wears true to that 49 millimeters. Yeah, pretty nicely done. The end links, they fit nicely. They follow the case curvature nicely. They aren't wobbly in here or anything like that. There's a little bit of tolerances that you see here. And this is where some of the jangle and the hollowness feeling comes from. When you're comparing it to like a higher quality bracelet, this is where you notice the differences in those tolerances. So this style of bracelet shouldn't move that much. Each link has a little bit too much play in it. So yeah, that's really the only place I can knock them. As far as the comfort goes, it was fine. It doesn't pull hairs or anything like that. This bottom edge has been rounded off nicely. The fluidity has been good. No links are hanging up on each other. The clasp here, it's your typical Addiesdive folded clasp. 2 button pushers here. You do have 5 levels of micro adjust there, so you're going to get a good fit on this watch. But the clasp feels a little bit small, a little bit light for this watch head, so it does feel a little bit top heavy. But you push the buttons, it opens up every single time. Pretty solid in here as well. I've seen these clasps many times to know what I'm getting into, and this one seems about standard for this style of watch. This bottom edge here, maybe a little bit sharp. Same with this one here, maybe just a touch sharp. It's really not that bad though. The bad part is these back edges here, but on this model, those have been rounded off nicely. So yeah, got no real complaints other than the fact that it's a little bit light for it. And then the jangliness of this bracelet is a little bit too much, and that's again where they're cutting the corners. If you're going to throw this on the strap, you don't really care about that, but it is a totally usable bracelet. It's just not the best one. So there you go, guys. That is the Addiesdive AD2074. If you are in the market for, I would say, a fairly rugged field watch, this is probably one of your better bets. I mean, I know they sell this same case in a few different dial colors. I like this one personally the most, but it's a nice, solid case. It's not too thick. It's a little bit too long. But I mean, you can't argue with the value here. You're getting a very solid movement, sapphire crystal, 200 meters of claimed water resistance on a stainless steel bracelet for about $100. Yeah, there's not a whole lot to complain about. So again, if you guys are interested in this watch, I'll be leaving an affiliate link down in the video description. Thank you guys for checking out the channel. I really do appreciate the continued support, and I will see you in the next video.